all the units I've done before have been in a classroom.
Yeah, that's true.
There's something to say about being in a different country and having your peers around you. You all have the same goal.
For growth in an industry, it's really exciting. It's sort of a bit confusing at the moment. I know when I first started using AI, sort of didn't know what I was doing, but you sort of learn it a bit more. It's pretty cool what it might do and what it might take over, but we'll see.
And I think one of the things that they don't mention it is when they use in Melbourne, they just say that the weather is very moody there. Like it's very moody there.
Oh.
Like it can sunny and rain like that.
It's not wrong.
Hi everyone, so welcome back on Bonsai on podcast. And I'm Latifah in here, going to be the host of today's episode. And we're so excited to have you guys with us today. So our special guest for today's episode is Keisha, Josh, and two amazing students from Swinburne University of Technology in Australia. And they're now currently in Indonesia, working on a consulting project. And we're also joined by Grace, one of the students in Universitas Brawijaya majoring in international relations. So let's relax and have a great conversation in here and learn more about their exciting journey. All right, Keisha, Josh, and Grace, how do you guys feel today? Is it great?
Feeling great. Feeling good.
It's been storming outside the last hour, so it's been that's been a bit miserable, but other than that, very good.
Okay, it's very good to hear that. And please welcome to Universitas Brawijaya. And let's start with some introductions for this episode, because this is a special episode, guys. So please, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, please? Maybe your name and where do you come from and what are you guys studying and majoring and working on at Universitas Brawijaya and at Swinburne University itself. So please,
Wow.
who want to go first?
Me first?
Okay,
You
Keisha.
shouldn't have. Well, good afternoon. My name is Keisha. I'm studying communication design and marketing at Swinburne. And I'm excited to be here. Really excited to be here. Yeah.
Okay, great. And then?
My name's Joshua, or Josh, whatever works best. I'm studying a Bachelor of Business majoring in sports management at Swinburne. And I live about an hour out of Melbourne in Australia. But yeah, very excited to be here in Malang. It's great. Come to Bali before, so come to Indonesia before going to Bali, but never into Java. So it's been really, really good to come into Malang.
Okay, it's great to hear that. And then last but not least.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Grace from Universitas Brawijaya. I'm majoring in international relations from batch 2023, and I'm from Malang, of course. I was born in Jakarta, but I'm raised here in Malang.
Okay, really fun and very excited to hear that. It sounds amazing, guys. So we had so much fun in here, of course. And okay, so great to know about you guys. And now let's talk a bit about Malang itself and Universitas Brawijaya, of course. So have you guys experienced being here so far? How do you guys feel about Malang and Indonesia itself, especially for Keisha and Josh? And what do you think of Malang as a city? And have you guys had a chance to explore Malang itself? And any fun or interesting experience you've had here in Malang? So please, can you tell to the audience?
Oh, so many questions.
Yes.
Well, I mean, Malang is such a beautiful city. I think we're really lucky to be here. And especially with UB here as well. We've just been so welcomed by everybody. And, even exploring in town, everyone's just so lovely. And I think that speaks to the whole of Indonesia as well. Like we were in Bali, a lot of big tourist, obviously, destination. But everyone's so lovely. And Josh and myself have been trying to pick up a little bit of Bahasa Indonesia. Just
Tiny bit.
sedikit. Saja, right?
Sedikit.
But but everyone's like, oh, no worries, I'll help you pronounce that. Of course. Where do you need to go? Like, it's just been so lovely being here, especially in Malang and being welcomed here by UB and everyone here. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say I'm very similar to Keisha in the fact that I have been trying to use and learn a little bit more Bahasa Indonesia. I studied in school Indonesia, so up until I was about 14, back in when I was younger. So I've liked being here in Malang, and English isn't quite as common, so I've had to use it more, which has been really fun. Really enjoyed that. So I've enjoyed actually that part of being in Malang, where it's a little bit more cultured, and then some of the tourism places that you might go to on just a holiday to Indonesia. So it's been really exciting to see all of that. And for me so far, I actually went out and did a day trip by myself, or separate to our group. The other day we went to Jodipan and saw the Rainbow Village, which was really cool. And got to experience that and just walk around. It was pouring with rain as well at the same time, so it added to the experience. But just something you probably wouldn't get if you're just going on a family holiday to Bali, which is a massive destination for people coming from Australia. It's always something that people do. Obviously, tourism in Indonesia. So
Okay, so perfect. So they've been a lot of tourism places in Malang. So okay, so it's interesting to hear that, and I'm very honored to be here. Also, I could be the host of you guys, and hearing that is very lovely, of course. And I have one more question about Malang itself and Indonesia. So it's quite fun. So Grace, you can answer it too.
Okay.
So how long have you been here?
Ooh.
we got here Saturday.
Okay, so it's been
Saturday?
a week.
Yeah, about a week.
Yeah.
We came, I think we were here for 2 days, then we went to Mount Bromo and did that an overnight there, and then we came back. So sort of been a little bit broken up, but a total just over a week.
Okay, so for like a week in Indonesia itself, so did you guys discover about the local food in here?
Oh,
And
yes.
What is your favorite food so far?
Favorite food.
Wow.
We've had lots of
Have you
traditional
tried?
food, haven't we?
We have had a lot of Indonesian food. I think we've been really lucky to
Yeah.
get out there and explore. I think it's hard for me to choose, but there's definitely something I want to try though. It's
What is that?
bakso.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard that Malang has like really good bakso, and so I'm
very
like,
popular here.
yeah. So if you know,
What is it?
let me know.
What is it?
It's
It's a
meatball.
It's a
meatball.
meatball. There's the soup also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like a broth, like
Yes.
with a broth.
Yeah.
It's the special course in Malang itself, so you guys must try it, of course. And how about you, Josh?
This food, my favorite, probably mee goreng. I've had it before. Mee goreng.
Indomie.
Yeah, Indomie. Yeah, so I've had that before, but then having it here, like it's a little bit more traditional, a little bit probably more accurate, and I've really enjoyed that. So lots of rice, lots of noodles, few upset tummies here and there, but nothing too serious. So it's been good. It's been good.
Okay, good. And then Grace,
I
what is
think
your
you should
favorite?
try bakso or pecel.
Okay,
It's like
pecel.
Indonesian salad
Salad.
here.
Oh, okay.
With peanut butter on it.
Yeah.
With
No
peanut butter
way.
sauce.
Yeah, peanut butter sauce.
So like a satay sauce.
yeah, it's like satay.
Yes, it's similar to satay, but
Cool.
yeah, we use the condiment about the vegetables, fresh vegetables.
That sounds so
Yes,
good.
it's very recommended. Okay, so glad to hear that you guys feel really comfortable in here. Okay, and let's dive into the project that you guys working on right now in Universitas Brawijaya itself. So can you guys tell us more about what are you guys doing and what exactly the innovation that you bring about this project, and what role do you both play in this project itself?
Wow, great questions. Well, we're lucky enough to be on the same group as well, so we might have a more cohesive
Yeah,
answer.
that's true. Yeah.
But
together
would
for
you
a
like
while.
to start?
Yeah, so we're essentially consulting for a new startup. They're a honey manufacturing startup, and we've been split up into two groups with our tour group. So there's 12 of us, so 6 each. And in our group, we're working with a product of powdered honey. and we're trying to break that into the Australian market and see what that would look like and how we could go about it. So what are the marketing strategies that we would need to implement? How do we create a commercialization strategy for the product and for the company to break into an Australian market? And it's been really good because we've been foot on the ground and being able to talk to. We got a tour of the factory about a week ago when we first came to Brawijaya University, which was really, really cool to see how the honey was made, and then how the powdered honey was made as well. But yeah, so we've got a presentation tomorrow. We'll be presenting our ideas and what we've come up with, and I'm sure Keisha can talk to this more in a moment, but we did a lot of brand design, brand mock-ups, packaging design, which is really, really cool, really exciting, definitely out of my scope. As a sports management major, I've been doing more financial analysis and looking at what finances they need to take on board and what projections we can have a look for them over the next few years. So that's what I've been really focusing on in the project. And it's been really, really enjoyable to work collaboratively with our group because we've got very different majors in our group. So like I said before, Keisha has done a bit more design stuff that I would have no idea what to do. But yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, no, Josh is spot on. I think we're very lucky to be split into groups that have different disciplines in them. And so that means that nobody is really like too overworked or doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes.
When we're mostly at the end of our degrees where we can really start to use the skills that we've learned at university, and I think that's really lucky. And Josh mentioned that we got to visit the factory, and I think that was just awesome. I really wanted to try the powdered honey and see what it tasted like and see what it looked like, and it was really exciting to go and see everything that they have innovative there, because it's not just the product, it's the whole systems behind it as well. So as Josh was saying, like my major is in communication design and marketing, so that's graphic design and marketing. So when we saw the product and we thought, how are we gonna spin it, how are we gonna sell it, I thought, you know what, we got to go to the factory, we got to see everything, we got to talk to the people and create a real relationship and see what issues they might have seen as well along the line. And from that, we developed because we do have to go into our assignment, we have to do an Australian market as well. So we decided to elevate the brand into something really premium. And so we went for like blacks and highlights of gold, and obviously we've got motifs of honey, and we link it back to the black locust tree where the honey has come from as well. So we really wanted to create an immediate sense of trust within the Australian consumer in a market that's already a little bit cautious about imported honey. But I think it was just fantastic being able to use these skills and develop such a cool product. And I'm excited. I'm actually excited and a little bit nervous to present it tomorrow, but excited as well, yeah.
Okay, so that sounds fascinating about how you guys built a strategies that really suits for the company as well, and best of luck for you guys for tomorrow.
Hopefully we won't need it too much, but
No,
I think
true.
I believe you guys will be nailed it.
hopefully.
It's fine. Okay. And after hearing that process through about what you guys been doing for the project itself, so what's been the most challenging part of this project itself, and what do you guys think about to cope up with those challenges and how you overcome those challenges itself?
Yeah, well, I can definitely start with, I spoke about before how I had to do the finance and going through all of that. And I'm majoring in sports management and did business is my core degree, but finance isn't my one word that I'm really, really good at. So I've been able to lean on our professor to help us with that. So Simon's been really good in assisting us with those sort of projections of the finance. So that was definitely a challenge and definitely something I was very interested in. It was very interesting to learn about, but something that I probably wouldn't have been able to do if I was all by myself or tried to do it all on my lonesome So being in a group and then also working with Simon was able to come up with some figures for the product. But yeah, it was really good. It was really good.
Josh has a really good point in that any challenges we did face, we were really supported in getting through them. So every day our teachers would be down in the lobby of our hotel and they say, we'll be here from 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. Come with us if you have any questions. So it was like a full-time job. And so we were really lucky with Peter and Simon, our professor. It's just been really awesome to be supported through even just the smaller questions, like really silly questions you might be embarrassed to ask. But they're just really kind and help us through it. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think as well it's been hard to balance trying to study and trying to do the project for the client and explore Malang and try to get out and do some stuff that's a little bit more leisure. And it's definitely I've been torn a couple of times, especially when the sun's out and it's really nice weather. I'm like, wouldn't mind going for a walk or sitting by the pool or something like that. So that's also been a bit of a challenge.
Absolutely,
so much to do with the project.
So lucky you guys to have those professors who really, really helpful for you guys to get through the challenges itself. Okay, so I want to ask for Grace about how is the experience itself to accompany them in Indonesia itself and being involved also in the project itself. How do you feel and as a Universitas Brawijaya student itself? Okay,
so first of all, I'm very grateful to meet you guys back then in the factory. And I think one of the things that they don't mention it is when they in Melbourne, they just say that the weather is very moody there. Like it's very moody there. Like it can sunny and rain like that.
It's not wrong.
And this is quite like here in Malang because the weather is very nice here. I think it's way more better than Melbourne, right?
At times, yeah.
Yes.
And it's very fun to meet them in the factory. And I actually have the pricing survey from you guys. Actually, I don't know, some of you just asked about what kind of price that we will that go to this market. I think it's very interesting that you're from Melbourne and you're headed here, and we have a different culture, different market here, and you have to solve a lot of the problem here and how you solve that, how you cope with that problem is very interesting. And also, I think it's very it's different here because they came up from sport, you came up from sport management, and you try to learn about this thing. It's very different here. The culture here in Indonesia, I think it's very good experience to have that and learn a lot of things that we brought from your own major. I think it's very grateful to be here with you guys.
That's lovely. And I'm also grateful to meet you guys here. Okay, so there's another question for Josh. So do you think that this project has shaped your perspective and how innovation works in the real world itself? You can answer it.
Yeah, I think so. I think before coming, I hadn't really done any real life and real work through uni. It was a lot of, usually it's hypothetical or it's theoretical stuff that you're looking at. And I know in Melbourne there is a lot of innovation around, but being here, being able to go to the factory, come to the university and see in person where the honey's being made, stuff like that, has been really awesome to see the innovation in person and how it's started and created. And something that I probably wouldn't have expected, just wouldn't have thought about when I thought about Indonesia, was the startups and innovation and production in that sense. So it's been really interesting to see firsthand how it all works compared to probably what I would have done if we had not come on this trip and done just the unit back home in Melbourne. We wouldn't really have got that experience.
Okay, great. And then for Keisha, how does this project compare to any other project you've been worked on before? Is it easier or maybe is it harder, or how do you feel?
I think it's non-comparable because all the units I've done before have been in a classroom.
Yeah, that's true.
There's something to say about being in a different country and having your peers around you. You all have the same goal. You're all working together to meet that goal. And I think that's really, really awesome. And it's not something that you usually have in your usual group project, which I'm not sure anybody looks forward to in a normal university environment.
Yeah.
We all want to do our own thing, but here we're so gelled together in the relationships that we're building with not only each other but our professors and, in Indonesia as a whole. It's just been, it's just not comparable. It's,
Yeah, it's a bit different. We're essentially living together at the moment, and you've got a roommate that some of us met for the first time on the first day. My roommate was a little bit late, so I actually met him one morning when we woke up next to each other because he came in the middle of the night sort of thing because he flew late. But then if you're back home in Melbourne, we have, for this class, for example, we would have had a 2-hour class once a week. You come in, you get a group, and your group could live in different directions, far away from each other, so you're not going to catch up in person. You sort of only really rely on that 2-hour class or maybe a Zoom meeting. Whereas here, we're living together, having breakfast together, going out for dinner together, going and do some tourist stuff together. So it's been a very, very different experience in terms of being together all the time.
Okay, so great. You've visited for the startup itself, and then you guys experienced a lot of new things here. Yeah, that's a great experience, guys. So now let's get into something a little bit philosophical. Okay, so it's gonna be fun. We're all about innovation, right? Today we're gonna ask you about what do you both think are the most exciting innovation that could change the world in the next 10 or 20 years ahead.
Big question, yeah.
I didn't prepare for that. I don't know. I honestly, I'll take the easy one and say Professor Simon's innovation that he's done. He's sitting in the corner looking at me right now. But Professor Simon has developed with a team a innovation that can help mitigate environmental damage from big mines. So in Australia we have huge mines. Like it's massive. The country's massive, the mines are massive, everything's huge. But they need to be able to know what's underneath the surface. And it's hard to pinpoint that. So Professor Simon has developed with the team a product that is more easier accessible for smaller companies to be able to locate what's underneath the surface and what risks there are underneath, which I think is really important because mining in itself can be quite a hazardous to the health of the people that are working there. And it'd be really good to know if you can tell what's happening down there, but you just can't see what's underneath the ground. So I think it's really cool. Yeah. How about you?
I was more thinking along the lines of like the innovation of technology and how it's always sort of evolving. A lot of my study that I've done has been about, especially in sport, it's been the future of sport and what that looks like and how.
Quite aligned with your major.
Yeah, it's quite aligned with my major. Yep. So it was sort of more in terms of what technology can do to sport, how that's going to change the way we perceive sport, the way we watch sport, things like that. And one of the big ones obviously is AI and generative AI and how we can use that to sort of alleviate problems or gaps that might be in the industry. And that is not just sport as well. So I think in my circumstance, I did a class on it, but it can be very broad using AI and then using even just new technologies for growth in an industry. It's really exciting. It's sort of a bit confusing at the moment. I know when I first started using AI, sort of didn't know what I was doing, but now you sort of learn it a bit more. It's pretty cool what it might do and what it might take over, but we'll see.
Okay, so what about you, Grace, in the perspective of international relations student itself?
International relations students, I don't know. I think one of the things that is, let's talk more about the innovation. I think I'm very interesting when you said about the gap itself. How we as a students, there's a lot of gap itself between the professional industry and also the students itself. I think it's quite something that we should gain a lot of deeper knowledge about it, because when we after get our graduate things and we jump to the professional industry, it's very wide, broad, that we don't even know when we're in students in a college, when we sit on the classroom. So I think that's the thing that we should see it first, get it first, and we have after we know that, we can know what kind of innovation that can change this whole world.
Okay, so I've noticed that you guys answered in about the practical way that we could implement it in the future, right? That about yes, our world now it's full of technology, yes. So
Yeah.
it's going to be our challenges to our generation in the future about how we could use it as a smart way.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's very relatable to us.
Yeah.
And then, okay, it's a great answer, you guys. Thank you so much. And then I want to ask from you guys' perspective about, do you think that students like yourself can drive into innovation, and how can we encourage the other students in here, or maybe the audiences that watch us right now, about to get involved in an impactful projects?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's
yeah.
a tricky one. How would you answer that one?
I think it's like the exciting thing about innovation and growth is that a lot of the time it's new, and you're working on something that's a little bit left of field, or it's something that's new in the market. Because like we spoke about before, there's that gap between sort of what is already being done in the professional realms of business and then what you're learning in university. If you can get on board with an innovation or a new product or something like that, it can be really exciting because it is new. And it's even the product we're working on at the moment, powdered honey. It's not very common. You walk down the aisle of the shops and you see powdered honey. You just see normal, regular honey. So even that in itself, it's sort of been a challenge, but it's been exciting to sort of work on that product, particularly because it is new. Whereas our other group, they do have a little bit different product. It's not as new as ours, so I always think ours is a little bit more exciting. You can sort of lean into that a little bit more. That people are a little bit more interested about it. Because when you say powdered honey, they go, "Oh, what's that?" So it starts that interest level because it is new.
Okay, how about you?
Oh wow! I mean, the question of how to get into innovation, is that kind of where I feel like some people just find themselves innovating. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got the point.
Yeah. So it's like you kind of just are doing it. You just have that mindset of like, this could be better. How can I make this better? Or you have a creative ability where you can see or spin it and it can become something that can be really helpful to people, especially people that aren't as privileged as us. You know what I mean? So for people of, the lower income earners or something like that, it could be, you could just find yourself doing it, or if you have a want to do it, a drive to do it, I think is important.
Okay, how about you, Grace?
Okay, so actually, talking about innovation, I'm coming up from Next Gen Consulting Brawijaya, and recently I just met one of a person that also graduated from Universitas Brawijaya, also coming up from international relations. They're also working on consulting, which it's also show us that consulting thing is very major agnostic. Anyone can go to that industry, and the first thing that they said is not about the major itself, but your skills will. Maybe your major does not define your future, but your skills will. And also for being in a field that's about innovation, I think the problem solving skill is also supposed to be in the first place of it. And also, I think anyone can do that. It just depends on how you have new cases, another cases, how you practice it, and there's sort of things that you can try to build that skills. I think that's for me.
I think that's definitely a good point as well, because we're trying to be innovative in our project that we're doing at the moment, consulting. And before we sort of came to Indonesia, I wouldn't have said, I'm an innovative person. That's something that I do. So it's not my skill set, but still jumping on board this project and coming to be a consultant, you sort of find yourself in that situation anyway. So
Okay, so anyone could give any innovation, right?
Yeah.
So from small things, it could be turned into a bigger things, right?
Yeah.
So that's the answer. Very perfect for me to open up another point of view. Okay, so it's been so great chatting with you guys all today, Keisha, Joshua, and Grace. Thank you so much for having your insights, thoughts, and experience in this Bonsai podcast with us. And it's clear that your time in here in Indonesia itself has been both exciting and rewarding. So before we end it to the last one, is there anything else you like to share with our listeners here about your journey or advice for future students that working on a similar projects that you guys want to go first?
Yeah, I was saying it's
Oh,
always
wow.
a standoff.
Maybe Keisha.
Yeah, of course. I mean, advice for students that are working on a similar or a consulting project in their studies would be communicate. I think, especially if you're working in a group environment, you need to communicate. And these relationships that we're building aren't built on nothing. So you need to be able to talk to each other and say, you know, give feedback, and positive and negative feedback, and critique each other, and so that we grow. And especially if we're liaising with a client as well, we need to be able to communicate with them. And I think as a student, we don't often get the chance to practice that. And I think, if you can practice it, give it a go. It'll help you throughout your employment.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
How about you, Josh?
A little bit similar, but in terms of, in this project, working together, it's my advice would be to just be flexible, I think, and because we do collaborate with, we met all for the first time coming on this tour, and so you don't know how everyone works, you don't know if they like to work first thing in the morning, you don't know if they work late at night, so being flexible in terms of the people that you have in your group and when you are consulting together, because it is a little bit more realistic of real world situations when you are in the workforce, and you've got a team full of people that might not be your best friends, but you work with them, so being able to work well and collaborate together and know what everyone does well and how they work has been really good. I think in our situation we've had people that sit up late at night and do their work and get it done, and others that like to get up early in the morning, or they like to work with someone, some like to sit by themselves and put headphones in and lock everything out. So just being flexible and understanding that people work differently, because we all have different experiences from previous, and we all know what works best for us. So that'd be my advice. And enjoy it as well, because it is great to work with in a group.
Okay, perfect. So just communicate everything, even the small things, and then be flexible throughout your day. And then the last but not least, from Grace.
Okay, I think for me as a student, we have to do more, explore more, because it's very good for us as students to explore more, because if consulting is for you, then it's good. But when you try it and you think that I think it's not for me, then it's good also, because you know what you want and what you don't want. So after graduation, you already know what you really, the exact field that you want. So I think that's a good thing as the students to explore more, communicate more, be flexible on it. So when you after graduate get your degree on it, you already know what field you want to go with, the step by step. You already know when you're in a college.
Okay, so just figure out about what you guys into. Yes, and take every opportunity that you could be. Okay, that's perfect. That's a lot of new perspective, guys, so you could implement it too from these three amazing students right here. So thank you once again for having a great time today. We hope you enjoy this relaxed and insightful conversation, teman UB. And stay tuned for more exciting journey and exciting episodes coming up from our podcast. So have a great day and thank you so much.